Hello, Ash, and welcome to the podcast. I'm
Hi.
so excited to have you on because you are so supportive to all the small businesses in our little town, and you're like a constant cheerleader. I call you my personal hype woman. And this is so awesome that I can put the spotlight on you for a change. So, thank you so much for being here.
It is my pleasure. I'm so happy.
Okay, so what first brought you to making apparel? Do you have a passion for fashion? I had to say it. I know it's so
I love
cute,
it.
but I had to say, do you have a passion for fashion?
So cute. So actually, my best friend is like super crafter. Um, she like we'd go on trips to Disneyland with like even before we had kids. She would make our shirts, and then when we had kids, she's like a seamstress, and she'd make our little Disney bound outfits, and I call her a sewing fairy. But whenever we go to her house like to hang out or whatever, she would craft, and I'm like, I can't do that, like years ago. And she's like, you could do it, you could do all of this. And she just slowly got me into it. I bought a Cricut back in 2018, and it was mostly just to make like the instant gratification of making something, because things take so long. And in this culture right now, it's just instant gratification all the time. And in the position I was in, I'm just like, I need something to get my creative outlet out. And then it kind of fell into the passion of apparel making and t-shirts, and like finding just what I wanted to do and get my creativity out that way, because I couldn't figure out how else to get it out. I used to be in marketing and be able to get it out in portfolios and in flyers and stuff like that. And then now as a mom, like, how do I get this creativity out of me? So she's got me started, and I kind of just fell into the passion for fashion that way.
I love it. I love how everything is so themed and everything is so detailed. And you care so much about the details. Like when you were making my shirt, my little logo shirt that I have here, you cared that the black was on black. Like that would never occur to me. So the details are really what sets your work apart. And do you ever get overwhelmed by the little decisions that go into your process?
Debilitatingly overwhelmed.
Okay.
Like, it's like I'm an overthinker to begin with, and then to have it trying to pay attention. I pay attention to everything, like
Mhm.
on everybody, and so just trying to find all those little details. And then it gets to the point where I get stuck, where I'm like, okay, her logo has black in it and she wants a black shirt, so how am I going to make the black on black? And then but it's also, you're like, your spirit just glows, and so I wanted to make it glow so it could fit on black so you could see everything but not make it white. So that's like with your sweatshirt, I wanted to make it glow because I felt like you just glow,
Oh,
and I pay attention to that kind of stuff. And so but yeah, it's just the overthinking part of it is just to the point where I'm like, just do it, just
mhm.
do it. Otherwise I'm not gonna do it at all.
Yeah, yeah. But the details seem to inspire you, and that's what I love, because I'm of the belief that, like, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, the details is where you get your creativity from, and you get the details kind of lead you. So I
100%.
love that. I love that.
100%. I think it's also because I like making people feel special.
Mhm.
And because I pay attention to all the details of just everyday life, I feel like if you put a detail that is close to them, it's gonna make them want to wear that every day because they love something so much about that. Um, yeah, and that's kind of where just like part of my touch of like, I paid attention to something that you love, and I want you to love this. So
And I do. I love of everything you've made me. Absolutely love it. And seeing my logo or seeing the logo you made come to life is
It's out.
so yes, it's like in real life. It's like
Yes.
a real tangible thing. It's like a moment when I put on this shirt this morning. It was like a total moment. I'm gonna be like on my podcast wearing my it's something that represents me. It was just amazing. So thank you for that moment this morning.
I love it. I
And
love
then I
it.
wanted to ask you also, what are some obstacles you face?
So I was telling my husband about this, and he agreed. I am terrible at marketing myself.
And
Absolutely
you used to
terrible at
be in
it.
marketing.
So I used to be in marketing, like in a corporate sense, marketing. So I'm good at like paper marketing and I'm the best cheerleader. Like you said, I'm
Yes,
really good at marketing other people.
you
But when it comes to me, I am terrible at like where my kids are in swim practice now and swimming. And was it on Tuesday? This like I'm sitting with a fellow mom, and I made her all of her merchandise for her business, and we have the same sweater on. And this mom comes up and said, "I love your sweater." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I made it." I barely got out. I made it. And the friend next to me is just like, "She made it. Look, here's my logo on the back." Like shouting my name, and to the point where she's like, "Well, do you have like a card?" So I gave her my card, but I would just sit, "Thank you." Like I'm terrible at marketing myself. That's one of my obstacles. Another one is like, because I'm it's always been this way for me. It's rejection. And I think it's with a lot of our generation is just the rejection. And like I've been trying to get into different little boutiques around town for a while. And sometimes it's just not their cup of tea. Like, some of them are more high end boutiques that, it's for for the boomers, and mine is more geared towards moms and kind of casual. And then it's people's merchandise. And so just the rejection of like, "You're not my cup of tea." It's like, okay. And having to get past the mindset of, keep being awesome. You'll find somebody that's, that'll like your stuff for your stuff.
For sure.
So that's another one. And then being that there's a gazillion apparel makers, like there's tons of them around town, on Etsy, everywhere. So just competing with that, and then having to adjust my mindset of it's community, not competition.
Yes.
That there's room for everybody. And my apparel might not be someone else's taste, but it is someone's taste. And so it's just getting through that obstacle of someone's mom makes apparel, someone's sister makes apparel also. Like they're not picking me to do it, and which is fine because there's plenty of opportunities. But it's taken me a while to get to that point of there's enough room.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and like my biggest obstacle, like I'm telling my husband all these that I have a rough time getting through, and he's just like, his common thing is like, just keep being awesome. It'll
I love
shine.
that. Yes. Keep being awesome.
Keep being awesome. Like all the stuff that happens on everyday life, in mom life and school life and business life. He's just like, just keep being awesome. Like, okay, we'll get through it.
Your family is in so many activities. You have two very active little girls, and you're very involved with them. And I want to know where do you get your energy from, and how do you keep it going?
Coffee,
Yeah.
water, wine. No, but I think the energy, because I'm a natural extrovert, I feed off other people's energy. And so lately it's having to really concentrate on who I'm around because I suck in that energy. And so when I watch the kids do it, like my oldest is in, like just started swimming, and that's a new thing this year for us. And I grew up as a swimmer. So being on the mom side of it now, I'm just like, we just sit here like, all right, we'll just chill and watch and like cheer for the kids. But it's just watching them just have so much fun. And it just feeds me of just like they're enjoying themselves and they're not just attached to a screen, because we don't do screens in our house.
Okay.
We just, like when I was pregnant with Quinn, Dan's aunt mastered in child development, and so she was telling us if you can keep them away from screens as long as you possibly can, but that also means you have to keep them really busy and give them activities. And so they've been in activities their whole life, and it's just a juggling act of what schedule's not going to overlap and what can we miss once in a while, and then coffee and being around the good, just good people to feed off their energy, because that's really what, if you're around, like if I've been around people that just suck and drain my energy and at these activities, and I'm just like, if I'm watching the kids, like, are you having fun? Are you doing what you want to do? And sometimes they're just like, I don't like soccer. I don't want to run, and it's like, okay, let's try swimming, because I did swimming. I loved it. And like some of the swim moms I've met so far, just like cheering like crazy. And I just suck in their energy. And it's like, yes, I could do this. And so it's just that's where I get a lot of the energy from, is just other people, because I'm naturally like that, and it's good and bad.
That's good though, that you surround yourself with uplifting people and you get that from proximity. I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, because like when I talk to you at pickup, it's like, it's great energy, and I leave just like, okay, let's go. Let's keep going.
That's awesome. I get my energy from you too. So it's like a synergy kind of thing.
Yes. I love it.
So normally I ask people, and I didn't prepare you for this question, so I'm not going to throw it at you. I'm just going to let you think about it. Like, what would the advice you would give to somebody who's trying to find their path? But I think I already know what it is, because you got it from your husband, and just keep being awesome. I love that advice, and I'm going to carry that with me, and I'm going to totally incorporate that. That's my new motto, is just keep being awesome.
I love it. Yes, it's just, like I listened to your last episode yesterday, how you talked us finding a realignment in your passion, and if it doesn't fit, try something else. And it struck with me. Like I think I told you, like, I took notes again, and so I feel like that's, well, I mean, there's such great tidbits, just great gems. And I feel like I've had so many lives, all kind of led up, and it's always just finding what you like to do, and then do it, and then keep being awesome at it. Just keep going. Like, if you think you maxed out at something else, and like that quote that's like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
This doesn't feel like work anymore. Like, it's just love doing it. Finding at this stage in life was perfect. So
you're fading in and out a little bit, and can you just repeat that last little bit? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, it's okay. I just said, this that quote that says, you'll never work a day if you find something you love to do. You'll never work a day in your life. And I feel like at this stage in my life, like, it's 100%, because I've done, like, I used to be in marketing and commercial real estate, and I was a realtor for 10 years, and I did all these different things, and like, it was all work, and I enjoyed it to a point, but then COVID hit, and it's like, we're distance learning, and how do I keep my sanity and still feel that fulfilled of something that I'm doing other than just mom life, and this, like, starting to make shirts and then just putting it online, and, giving it to our friends when we would see them all, masked up and everything, and just seeing the joy in their eyes of just like, oh my God, you made me something.
Yes.
And so that's what I would offer, is saying, just keep going. If you, it's the small adjustments, find something you love to do as a hobby, and figure out how to make that work to where you have something to go to after work, after everybody's in bed, you know, or even before when everyone's still sleeping. Just find something that you enjoy doing.
That's perfect. That is perfect. Thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate you. Where can people find you and get really, really great merch?
Well, I'm on Instagram as at Ash Creation Station. So there's no S after Ashes because it looked weird. So it's just Ash Creation Station. I'm also online at ashcreationstation.com. And then I have a little setup in Brentwood by Vic Stewart's at the Red Door Gift Shop Boutique. You'll walk right in the door and there's my little setup that you've seen already.
Yes, I've been shopping and had such a great time there. So yes, absolutely. And I'll have all the links in the show notes so that people can find you and get a hold of you and get all the good stuff.
Thank you, Misty.
Thank you so much, Ash. I really
had
appreciate
so much
you.
fun.
Awesome.
I'll see you at pickup.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.